U.S. Vice President JD Vance met with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni on Sunday, expressing optimism that their discussions could help restart stalled trade negotiations between the European Union and the United States. The meeting comes at a critical juncture as both sides face rising pressure to resolve trade disputes. The Biden administration recently imposed a 25% tariff on EU imports of steel, aluminum, and cars. In addition, a 10% baseline tariff applies to nearly all countries, with further reciprocal tariffs, potentially reaching 20% for the EU, looming if the two sides fail to make progress within a 90-day negotiation window. While no formal announcements were made, the high-profile meeting signals renewed diplomatic momentum in one of the world's most critical trade partnerships.
Tra Europa e Stati Uniti siano fondamentali nell'ambito di uno. We know how important is the relation between the EU and the US for a strong West, for our civilization, also for our economic relations that worth 30% of the world exchange. And so I hope that this meeting can be a new beginning, let's say like that. Sono molto orgogliosa di avere l'occasione oggi di ospitare due dei leader.
I've said repeatedly that I think Europe is an important ally of the United States. The individual countries within Europe are important allies of the United States. But of course we have some disagreements, as friends sometimes do, on issues like trade. And we also have many agreements and many things that we can work on together.
Noi sappiamo che ci sono molte questioni da discutere, sappiamo anche che ci sono dei problemi che vanno.
I think we'll have a great conversation and hopefully will be the beginning of some long-term trade negotiations and some long-term trade advantages between both Europe and the United States.
In Europa è della Commissione e quindi il ruolo dell'Italia è soprattutto un ruolo.
And as you said, we have a very special and close relationship. If I may look at trade, indeed, we have the largest trade relationship in the world.
Sure.
With more than $1.5 trillion per year, very much intertwined. So indeed it is important now, we've exchanged papers, that our experts are deep diving, are discussing the details. Everybody knows that the devil is in the detail, but what unites us is that at the end we want together to have a good deal for both sides.
The details, everybody knows that the devil is in the detail, but
I would like also to raise the topic of Ukraine. What unites us is that we want a just and lasting peace.
Sure.
And I know how much you are engaged in ending this war, and I thank you for that. So what is important now is certainly that we push that things are moving forward, and I think the next week will be crucial on that.
Sono stata ospite del Presidente Trump.
Perhaps an important topic between us also is the topic of defense. And I know that the European member states have to step up the investment in defense. This is why, as a Commission, we have enabled the use of up to 800 billion euros in the next 4 years for defense investment. And this, of course, will strengthen the European Union, but we know what a strong Europe means always also a strong NATO. So we will certainly take stock at the NATO summit.
Manage the bad, yesterday morning I woke up at 7, I promised her.